Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I'm just turning my phone off so it won't ring in the middle of the reading. That happened to me yesterday. Luckily I was able to do some editing and save a reading, so that was good. But anyway, the phone's off now. So we're here, and we're in the now while we're reading. I wanted to look at, I've had a couple of emails and messages around, and I'm also viewing concerns over the various forums that somehow the Trump administration, with Bill Barr pushing back on the IG, the Inspector General's report, again pursuing this narrative. It seems to be around Russia not Trump and Russia not being aligned, that it's a hoax, and the narrative we've seen coming forward around Ukraine. I mean, this isn't just some mindless people trying to score political points. This could be what I'm feeling, or what I opened up when I opened up this reading. What I saw, this could be their way of attempting some kind of coup. So what form does that coup take? It's about elevating the authority of the president and de-elevating, if there's such a word, de-escalating the authority of the House. And so this was part of a strategy that Bill Barr and Trump had when Bill Barr was first confirmed. This isn't a new strategy. It's just a progression of a strategy that has always been there, and really started with Bill Barr's 7 or 9 page letter talking about the executive authority of the president and that it should be unquestioned. This is around pushing the non-indictment of a sitting president. This is about taking those arguments all the way to the Supreme Court. So what I saw clairvoyantly when I opened up for this reading was the image of a banana in a fountain. So what I'm seeing there is a banana republic. So trying to make a republic in name only. This isn't, some would think this is about the authority of Donald Trump. It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? But it's more about the moneyed elite and ensuring their interests are met. So it's around a time in your country, or every country's history in the world, where the divide between the haves and the have-nots have been growing. And so there is a time where those that don't have the workforce, the labour that allows and I'm not talking about a socialist philosophy here, I'm actually talking about capitalism. So capitalism gone wrong in a way. So this growing divide, and I'll try not to labour too much on the political machinations of all of this. Just suffice to say is that the bottom levels of society, those that provide the labour, those that go to work, do those jobs every day, sometimes 2-3 jobs, are asking for more, and there's more numbers in terms of the population rise. The have-nots are growing, and the elites, of course, are the top 1% or whatever they are, top 5%. And so it's ensuring their political power. So that's really what the coup is about. It's almost like capitalism gone wrong in a way. It's kind of an inverse coup because you would think that the bottom would raise up, but it's actually in the US we're seeing the top levels trying to keep and hold on to their power. So it's almost a minority. Someone did describe it as a minority coup, and I think that's pretty right. Okay, so how is this panning out? What form is it taking? The other images that I got was the light of the hermit. And so what will stop this is investigation, introspection, and focusing on the detail, because the detail is what the GOP are trying to get away from, because it is getting away from the rule of law. So how will this strategy play out? Unfortunately, There has been some talk about this coup may progress to the point where the 2020 elections may not be held. I don't think that's the case. Some are also talking about Trump winning in 2020 because he won through nefarious means. Some would say in 2016. We don't actually know if votes were actually changed because we haven't really been able or allowed to look at the hard evidence. But some are talking about him getting a second term. Now, I've never, or elections not being held at all. And then later on he would be removed. I don't subscribe to that. I've never seen that. I've felt that the detail and the rule of law would remove Trump long before that. We can have a look at how this might pan out because we've all got free will and things change. So that's we can update and have another look at that. But let's let's get into the reading. And have a look at, is there a coup or an attempted? Well, it's both. It's both a coup and it's an attempted coup because it's not been absolutely successful yet, although it has in some ways. So you've still got that rule of law holding. You've still got the republic. Striding forward at this stage, albeit a bit beaten down. Is there an attempted coup by the Republicans? Is there an attempted coup by Trump, Bill Barr, Donald Trump, Trump's enablers? Is this an attempted coup? Wow. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is the impeachment card, Pelosi in the House. This is precisely why Pelosi is moving forward. Pelosi and her Democratic Party team are moving forward so strongly and quickly. They have to put this on record. So they're probably holding graver fears than what we already know. But this is also investigation. Remember when I opened up clairvoyantly, the thing that is stopping this coup from being successful is the investigation. And so if you stop the investigation, and this is also part of the obstruction, which is one of the articles of impeachment, obstruction of justice, along with abuse of power, it's very, very critical that impeachment vote and those articles go forward at this time. Challenged by illusion and delusion, absolutely. The Inspector General of the Department of Justice, his report is now being twisted and turned. Is that kind of delusion working? I don't think so. But let's keep going here. We've got the Temperance card. Bringing things back into balance is the foundation of the reading. And so, again, this month is critical. Now, will Donald Trump go this month? Probably not. Will he go in January, February? Maybe not. But this is all about a rebalancing. My feeling is that he will step down and resign before the 2020 election. I keep reading on that. I keep seeing that. And I will keep updating it as we go forward in time. This is what I would call now my tightrope card. Pardon me. In many of my decks, the Two of Pentacles, this querent is standing on one leg and has one leg up, suggesting that trying to juggle things, trying to keep things in the air, trying to stall the inevitable. This is the GOP. And really, it's a bit of a nefarious choice they're making, because the traditional meaning of this card is there are two ships coming into harbour. This one is likely to go on the rocks if they don't get direction. This person has to decide which ship to bring in. And this is all around which ship will perish and which ship will bring in. This is what the GOP have decided in the past, which ship will perish, which they will bring in. Pardon me. In the sky and crowning this reading, we have the World card. This is endings and new beginnings. And so if the US would fall to a banana republic. It would impact and drown, I guess, the rest of the world in corruption. It's very important that what is playing out in the US now will have a flow-on effect to other countries. We've got the Knight of Pentacles in the immediate future here, so it's going to be, it feels excruciatingly slow. It feels as though, when will this man ever be gone? Why are the GOP allowed to do that? Because the GOP are currently hold the presidency and the Senate. They have significant degrees of power. They have decided a long time ago, particularly around November, when the House went to the Democrats, that one of the ways forward was to paint these false narratives. Now we've got the foundation, we've got the here and now, and we've got the Hierophant card. This is a stability coming through, and it's coming through the courts. Now this is the thrust of the readings that I've done recently, shows that the courts will have a big bearing on whether or not this attempted minority, let's just call it a minority coup, actually succeeds. My readings have suggested that it won't. The Page of Cups, this is the whistleblowers coming forward and enacting the rule of law. So there could also be bombshells. When I say bombshells, there could be information coming forward, surprise information through the courts. Now, this is the here and now, so we're not that far away from it in December. The hopes and the fears, this is my card for a co-equal, when the Democrats won the House, a co-equal branch of government. There is real fear that what people like Trump and Bill Barr and other enablers are doing will actually cause the disintegration of the, in a way, of the United States. And so the coming together of the two parties in some way will ensure the longevity. It's suggesting, again, like my other readings have suggested, that information is likely to come out which will impact very strongly on this whole situation. Review, investigation. Here's while it's not my Hermit card, it is my review card. It's when you go back to the drawing board. It's when you take a grand assessment of what's gone wrong and how you will proceed forward. We've got the Six of Pentacles, clarifying that. This can also be, let's read in layers, this can also be the GOP looking at how else they can achieve their goals. And we've got this loans and debts, this Six of Pentacles that comes up so often with Donald Trump and how he achieves his aims. This came forward before in my last reading as a key card, suggesting that perhaps Donald Trump is, I interpreted it as, paying people, but this could be campaign donations in hindsight. This could be do our bidding and we'll give you X amount of money for your campaign. And that would fit with the overall strategy that it's all about the money. The money is just running through this reading like bad seeds through a rotten apple. And it is all about winning with this Six of Wands. So, yes, there is this minority coup. They've made their decisions some time back. The courts will play a big role in preventing the minority coup or this coup from being successful. There is real fear. It feels like a slow-moving, torturous kind of battle, I guess. But that's because the GOP hold the presidency and the Senate. We've got the Magician card. So this was always my card for the Republicans in the beginning, the dirty tricksters. But I feel there's a different energy to this Magician now. This is around, and I'm getting the look at the major arcanas, this is around the world, beginnings and endings. So this is around this really bold-faced truth coming out. There's not a lot of doubt now as to what has happened and what is going on. And as I said, investigation is the key. Here, and I do feel that's why Pelosi and her team are going quickly with this now. Well, when we say quickly, they've been investigating Trump one way or another via the Mueller report, now by the matters concerned, the articles of impeachment concerning Ukraine, since November in 2018. So we've got nearly a full year that the Trump government has been under investigation. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, things slowly turning, and I'm connecting this with this magician actualizing something into reality. We do have the Nine of Pentacles. This is around this, I feel, taking what they want through government, and it is to do the number of Pentacle cards that have been coming forward in my readings. Regarding the GOP, they're just always there. 4, 5, maybe sometimes even 6 pentacles come through, and we've got the secrets being revealed. So I've got now. Look at it. Look, I've got. Look at it. Look at it. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana now coming forward in response to this question. We've got, and yes, there. In summary, there is what some would call a coup. It is being led and enabled by the minority, and that's really why it's not going to work. Well, it's not going to work because of the courts, and so the possibility of a banana republic may never, ever come to fruition, because the other image that I saw when I saw that banana sitting atop a fountain, some kind of official fountain, was there were leaks in the bottom half of the structure, and it was just full of holes, and of course the water was leaking out. We've got endings and beginnings. We've got the magician now working in our favour. It's around actualising something into reality. What is that? And that is bringing forward the truth. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. Why is this so excruciatingly painful? It is a karmic and a destined time in history, but we do have judgment. We do have judgment and something coming to an end. And look, how many, the Hierophant now, how many major arcanas? 1. So yes, the court and the rule of law will play a huge role in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana. Rebalancing 7 major arcana in that reading. So there is a lot of work to be done. Unfortunately, this has been a long time building as well. And so I find with a lot of situations that are coming up now as we draw to the end of 2019, move into 2020, which is going to be a brand new, almost ball game. It's not going to be a repeat of 2019. So for those that are worried, let's have a look at, through these cards, whether or not there will be a 2020 election. It's quite frightening to think there wouldn't be, that the US would completely crumble in that way. I don't think that will be the case. The rule of law will stand between that, I feel. Let's have a look at, although, you know, around that election time, emotions obviously will be running high. The cult of Trump just won't disappear. Foreign interference in your elections won't disappear with the Republicans holding power. So let's just take a scenario. If Trump doesn't stand down, if the courts don't do their job, if new information doesn't come forward around the money trail, I think Rosie, the psychic investigator, is talking about those tax returns showing Trump's shell companies. If all of that information doesn't come forward, if the GOP somehow sail through this, Trump is impeached, the Senate don't remove him from office, they continue with this minority coup strategy, and the 2020 elections, it goes all the way to 2020 elections. Let's have a look. So will the 2020 elections be held? 2020 elections. Will the 2020 elections in the US be held? Will the 2020 elections in the US be held? So we've got judgment, something coming to an inevitable close. It's not a bad card to bring forward. We have challenged, though, by fatigue, battle weariness. As I said, seems like an excruciating, slow battle. However, so I guess that's a caution here to be vigilant, not to give up, okay? But something is coming to an inevitable close. We have the Chariot. I talked about it being excruciatingly slow. The Chariot would suggest that things, whatever they are at this point in the time, will actually start to speed up. Now, I think this is... it's the number 7, so it is lessons. It is a Cancerian energy, and these are life lessons coming forward fairly quickly for somebody. I wonder who that might be. This is the past card, abuse of power. Let me bring the laptop down so you can see what these cards are actually saying. I'm using my Gilded Tarot, so I have the Judgment card. I have challenged, endings are being challenged or could be being challenged by people becoming battle weary. If they're trying to stall judgment, it could be they're going to run out of steam too, particularly with new information coming forward. The Chariot is the strength of the reading, and things are going to pick up a pace. This 5 of Swords is now in my past position in this layout. Abuse of power in the past position. The King of Wands. Okay, so this is the lawmakers. It's also the courts. It's leadership. Stepping forward bravely, courageously, and an inspired leadership as well. So this is somebody strong. This is a fire energy coming forward here. Sagittarian, Aries, Leo, coming forward fairly strongly. That's what's crowning the reading. People are going to be stepping up is what I feel. The immediate future, we've got the Tower, structures being broken down. This is in the immediate future. We haven't got to the outcome yet. We know that we are in a Tower moment, and it calls for strong leadership. Anyone who wants to view Eric Swalwell's cross-examination of the Republican and the Democratic lawyer need to go and watch that clip of Representative Swalwell cross-examining. He laid the case out. It was cut and dry. These are the people that are going to be stepping forward with very, very strong leadership is needed, because structures are being broken down. There is damage being done. You need just to look at the NATO recent NATO meeting to understand that. Right now we've got the dictator, the emperor, again, control, 2020. Right now they're controlling things because they control government. They're holding back information because they're insecure. They're obviously insecure about losing that power. Okay, so again, we know that Trump, Trump could face justice once he leaves office this time in 2020 if he were to lose. This is the GOP holding on. There's going to be a lot of investigations. I saw that, Hermit, when I started the reading. There will be, continuing in 2020, a lot of investigations, a lot of information coming through. Those investigations in the courts will be what will prevent this total anarchy in a way, or not anarchy, but a coup, from growing and being successful. The hopes and fears, being overwhelmed, things coming forward so quickly that you can't stop it. We've got 8 of Swords, restriction. Okay, so restriction. This could even be imprisonment as well, restricting the elections, or it could be restricting some sort of coup. We'll draw some clarifiers. Two of Wands. There is a crossroads that we're facing at the moment, and decisions and planning needs to be put in place. This is where the impeachment comes forward with the Knight of Wands. That is my card for the mood behind impeaching this president, because he has broken, or because he has acted, he's abused his power, basically, according to your constitution. It had to be set in stone. So again, we go back to the courts. I'll pull on that Eight of Swords. It looks to me like they're going to be restricted, not that you're not going to get your 2020 elections. Base of the pack, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, things starting to ease and get better as you move toward this 2020 election. We've got the Page of Swords, communications, information coming out, and we've got new starts with that Ace of Cups. We've also got the Page of Cups, again, information coming out, and finally truth and clarity. And I'll pull one more because I'm looking at it. Truth and clarity about the devil. So I'm not seeing that there won't be a 2020 election at this stage. I feel that there will be the strong, the bold, the courageous, the courts, the people within your society. There will be a bravery and a courageousness about people stepping forward now. And the GOP is trying to hold on to their power. The courts will hold your republic, is what I've seen. Let's have a look at the Eight of Swords. What is this? Tell me about this restriction. Is this restriction of the GOP? Is this the restriction of the GOP? Is this restriction in time before 2020 of the GOP? Okay, I feel that it is, yeah. Page of Cups, again, that news likely to be coming forward. The Five of Cups, suggesting there will be loss, high emotion, and we've got strength and endurance. Okay, so this is not, this is strength and endurance for your republic. And here we've got our Magician again. Again, I thought in the last reading that Magician is changing. That Magician is morphing into manifesting the truth in reality. And we've got the King of Swords. That's not the GOP. That's not the GOP, that's the investigations, and I go back to my clairvoyant image, detail, investigations, impeachment, the rule of law will hold, and it looks like the investigations are also going to ramp up in as we move into 2020. We've got new starts at the base of the pack with this Fool, and we've got the Star of Hope. Also, and we've got the Eight of Cups, somebody moving away, walking away, turning their back on what is no longer working for them. I don't think that's the majority of America. I think that might be Donald Trump, turning the back on really not being able to hold on to power, and we've got new starts with this Ace of Pentacles. So investigations. So from that, yes, 2020 is going to be pretty tough, but it looks like we've got leadership. This is what is going to stand between this attempted type of coup by the minority is people stepping forward, stepping up and stepping forward, and they are leaders, and there are a lot of them about that, remembering that the GOP is that those votes in 2016 were in the minority, 65 million was it, 25%. If you go back and look at who and what voted Donald Trump in, if there is a mobilisation of voters, there's no amount of interference would hold back that tsunami, as we've seen in the 2018 midterms. So that my reading is yes, 2020 is going to be tough. I still, at this point, am predicting that Trump may not even make it to 2020. There is an attempted minority type of coup going on, but it's finished with by 2020. In some way, information will emerge that will you will have your election in 2020 is what I'm seeing. So these are my my tarot reading predictions based on my intuition. I would also suggest that you use your own intuition, that whenever you're listening to me or anyone else, go from what your gut is telling you could happen. Don't follow blindly along. Make your own minds up. Do your own research. But most of all, if there is one thing that you want to take from that reading, don't give up. Don't fall into the pit of negativity and despair, and it's going to go down this way. No. Free will is always in play. We always have free will, and that star of hope is there and burning brightly for you to fix your eyes on and fix your intent and trim your sails if you need to, and sail onward toward that star of hope. Because really, if you lose hope, if you lose that intention, then they win. Okay, so that's the reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again with another reading soon. Thank you.